What is going on, guys? DBG here, and in this video we are going to be doing another video of the series where I rate your squads in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. So pretty much what I'm going to be doing, I do this once a week, probably going to be 52, probably around 50 or so of them during the year, where I rate squads between 10 to 15 a week. If you guys want me to rate your squads, follow me on Twitter at DBGYT_. Tweet me a picture of your squad with hashtag #RateMyTeam. Unfortunately, can't rate all of them, but I did manage to, I think I got, this week I only got like 30 things, or 30 pictures sent, and I'm going to be rating 15, so I'm going to be rating about half of them. So there is probably a 50-50 chance I'll be able to rate your team. Okay, so mainly around pick and fade Porzingis and Lambeer. Drive and kick to shooter, or just lay up point guard. Mainly Silas. Okay. Let's have a look here. Silas, you've got 4 really good defenders in your starters. You've actually got 4 really good defenders in your bench. I really like this team, because even if I don't like Silas, which I don't, if you like Silas, you do you. Patty Mills is a great player to have in there as well. I can't really suggest anyone better. There's not anyone really that's in this squad here that I could say, you know what, there's a 100% chance that you can make an improvement. Because I really like Giannis, I really like Bailey Howell. I like Lambeer. If you can get Lambeer's release down, he is fantastic. He's the best. He's one of the best centers in the game. I really like Porzingis, really like Bird, really like PG. Doug Christie might be the best 2-guard in this game. Really like James Silas. So, like, I'm a big fan of this team. I really am a big fan of this team. So, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I can't make any suggestions. I'm sorry. Actually, let's go 9.5. Let's go 9.5 for this team. A great start. One of the best squads around. Then, willing to make changes just that you can't grind much to play Park as well. That's fine. You don't need to grind my team. One of my biggest things, you do not need to overgrind this game mode. And you know what? Your team is perfectly fine to be competitive. You got Howell, Ariza. I like this team. I do like this team. You've got 2 really good shooters here. You've got 2 good scorers at the point guard. You've got 2 good defenders here. Your team is a little bit lacking on defense, but it's perfectly fine on offense. I would, to be honest, you can't get much better, can you, for these prices? I think I'd just keep your team as is. I honestly would just keep your team as is. This is like a 7.5 to an 8 out of 10 team, considering if you're not spending much time in the game. For its price, you can't get much better. I'd hold on and wait till Tuesday. Because, like, on Tuesdays, last week we got Kenny Smith and Bailey Howell. Imagine if we get a 2-guard with clamps and range extender. Well, we probably won't, but imagine we even just get another Ray Allen type player, or another Bailey Howell type player, a wing with clamps. So, yeah, I would definitely say that this is a really nice team, and I would probably advise you just not to make any changes. So, hashtag #RateMyTeam. Okay, Lillard, Mitch Richmond, Bailey Howell, Giannis, and Kat. You've got unit point guard, Mo Cheeks. I kind of like this team. I would just replace these guys with bronzes. There's no point having these 3 guys in the team instead of bronzes. I do like this point guard. And I actually do like the fact you can put Mo Cheeks beside him and put Mo Cheeks defending the better player. Richard Jefferson is absolutely fantastic. Tony Kukoc is fantastic. Kat and Embiid are both really good. Again, 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. I like this team. I really do. 8 out of 10. I don't think you can make many changes to it and improve, so that's what it's getting. No money spent, run 5 out, use lots of screens, driving kicks, willing to sell anyone if needed. Okay, so you got this duo in here. Got Lanier and Kat. I was about to say I would play Lanier at the 5, but you can't. Again, it's lacking a bit of defense, but offensively, it's top tier. It really is top tier. I'm looking at it trying to think where I can make improvements. You only get 10k MT. Maybe you could was about to say maybe you could sell Luke and Porzingis, but you know what? That duo is actually fairly good, so there's no point really. Like, they're decent. Lillard offensively is as good as you're getting for his price. Brian Russell's as good as you're getting at that token tier. Honestly, you can't do much better token-wise. And again, neither of your point guards are great on defense, but that's where you've got Mo Cheeks. I probably would advise against Ben Simmons. I would probably put in like a kind of a power forward, like a Kukoc in instead of Simmons. Because if you do want to go small ball, it kind of helps. But or if you don't want to run linear and you want to run with 5 shooters. But other than that, this is like a 7.5 out of 10 team. But I can't really suggest many improvements for your price range. Okay. Don't use a playbook, pick and roll, drive and kick. Don't shoot much of bigs. Like them to have the option. Will sell Manu next weekend. Kuzi has bronze quick first step and range. Boogie has bronze quick first step and clamps. Any changes you'd recommend? Okay. You evoed Kobe? Wow, that takes a serious dedication. That Kobe's so nice evo as well. 600k as well? What? You have Kuzi and 600k? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Van Exel, Manu Ginobili, Paul George, Alonzo Mourning, and Boogie. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Alonzo Mourning. But he's fine. Boogie's also fine. Neither of them can shoot, but you say you don't need your bigs to shoot, and they both can hit the occasional shot. They both have a similarly moderately average defensive or 3-point rating. I can't. Did I just really say moderately average? Bailey Howell's great off the bench. This Kobe, terrible as Sapphire, basically the Amethyst when he's Ruby. Trevor Ariza is really good. Kristap's really good. 9.3 out of 10. 9.3. Okay. With your starters, do a lot of rim running, pushing the pace with Gus. Also a ton of picks, course shooting with Houston. On the bench, still play fast, but shoot more. That's why you have IT with Hall of Fame Dimer coming off the bench. Okay. Let me have a look. Ooh, Giannis is center off the bench. Patty Mills in there in case Gus Williams is struggling shooting wise. Is this a perfectly structured team? Yes, it is. This is as perfect a structured team as possible. You've got very similar players coming on for each other. You've got very good defensive lineups, both with your starters and your bench. Well, you've got 2 really good defensive players on this lineup and 3 on the other one. Man, I can't flaw this team. I can't give flaw to this team. This is a 9.5 out of 10. This is the type of team that I'd run on. A very similar team to what I'd run on Unlimited. This is a fantastic team. Absolutely fantastic. Rate my team. Run 4 out 1 in, lots of pick and rolls, and 3 home with Ray. Okay, how do you 3 home with Ray? Maybe our definitions of 3 hunting are different. Because I was like, you can 3 home with Patty. You can't 3 home with Ray. Okay. Bailey, Kukoc in here. Yeah, this team's good. Your bench though. That bench is so nice defensively. Like, swap Patty Mills with Mo Cheeks, please. Because that's a terrible defensive backcourt, and that is the best defensive backcourt in the game. So, swap 1 for 1. Please just swap 1 for 1. So you've got 1 great defender, 1 great offensive player in your backcourt. If you swapped Mo Cheeks in your starting lineup, you'd be sorted. You'd be absolutely sorted. But 8.3 out of 10. 8.3 out of 10. Good team. Okay. Have 54k clamps and range on Marbury. Put clamps on Houston and Ryder. I did not know you could put clamps on Marbury. Clamps on Houston Ryder. 5 out Bucks playbook. Man, if you got clamps in Houston, he's a god. He is a absolute god if you've got clamps in Houston. He becomes the best card we may have ever seen in my team. But this is an offensive juggernaut team. But again, actually, you've got clamps on all these guys. I would say this is an offensive juggernaut. But if you've got clamps on all these guys, it's actually a pretty good defense team as well. I don't like Ryder, but Man, World Beat Free, Ray Allen, the Busher, Perkins, Lanier. I don't really like Lanier, but you know what? He's an objectively good card. Considering you've got Clamps Allen Houston, the most OP card in the game, as well as Clamps Marbury, I can't give this lower than an 8.75 out of 10. That's what I'm giving it, 8.75. This team's really, really good. Don't get me wrong, this team's really good. So how many more do we have left? 4, 5. Okay, so you have about 5 teams to go. We are a little bit in, but that team was really nice right there. Okay, so I run 5 out, drive, and kick out to open shooters with your point guard. Okay. I like how you have a bunch of MT there. Always best to hold on to your MT. Especially when you can be competitive with all reward cards, which seems that you have right here. Kyle Lowry, really like him. And Dan Marley, really like him. He is a sniper. Brian Russell, really good. So you've got 2 really good defenders in your 3 backcourt players, or in your point guard and 2 wings. Keith Van Horn, sniper. Sam Perkins, sniper. I don't like Leitner. I really don't. But I can't argue against the rest of this team. You've got 2 great defenders, 2 great wing defenders in your starters and bench. Kittles, Reggie Williams are both really good as well. Danielle Marshall is a good shooter. Christian Leitner is a decent shooter. I really don't like Leitner though. I really don't like Leitner. I would pay a little bit extra. I'd spend a little bit of MT on a Lambier, to be completely honest. But to each of their own, like. But World Beat Free is ridiculously good. World Beat Free is insane. So, in my opinion, this is a... You know what? It's like a 7.5 out of 10 team, but you know what? A 7.5 out of 10 team with this much MT, you're sorted. You're in a great position. You're in a great position. Okay. Rate my team. I use stick with shot aiming off. That's what I have most success with. Rim run, point guard, and small forward, and 3 hunt with your 2 guard. Only use center for defense. Rebounding also has Tatum, has silver clamps. Okay. So, can't really rim run with Rip Hamilton, can you? D Rose. Ridiculously good dunker, ridiculously good rim runner. You've got the 2 best slashing point guards in the game. And you've got Allen Houston, the best shooter in the game. Ray Allen, the 2nd best, maybe 3rd best shooter in the game. I actually think Paul Pierce over Ray Allen, but Ray Allen's right up there. You've got Jefferson, one of the best wings in the game. Silver clamps Tatum. You know what? I like Tatum on bronze clamps. Silver clamps Tatum's a god. Centers on Beer is great. I don't like Kareem for his price. I don't see really what this Kareem gives you that Kristaps doesn't. And this Kareem's more expensive than Kristaps, but again, not the biggest deal at the end of the day. So I'm going to give this team an 8 out of 10. We haven't seen any absolutely woeful teams yet. And that's a bit of a surprise. Normally you'd see at least 1 to 2 completely woeful teams, but no, this is an 8 out of 10. I don't think I've gone lower than a 7 out of 10. This team right here. Is our last team? No, we've got 4 more teams. Okay. 5 out. Basically just 5 out, geez. Okay. I don't like Siakam. I also don't like Clay, because Clay guard centers. But Iverson and Mo Cheeks are great. Man, that Iverson. If you guys have ever been in any of my YouTube streams, and if you haven't been in any of them, they are on my 2nd channel. You'll see the link if you go actually onto my channel and look up channels. It's called Mick with a 1 instead of the I. If you've ever been onto one of my YouTube streams, I am telling you, Allen Iverson literally it's just layup, 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 layup. He just goes through people. He's like Gus Williams in terms of his layups. And Iverson also has a ridiculous dunk package. Ray Allen as well, fantastic shooter. Paul George, really good. Tony Kukoc, good. Lambier, good. I like Myers Leonard more than most people like Myers Leonard. I like this team. I don't like Siakam. I would replace Siakam with... There's a lot of guys the power forward position that can shoot that you can replace with Siakam. There's too many almost that I can name. Even a Tatum's better than a Siakam. I don't like Clay because he switches onto centers. But other than that, though, this team's okay. This is a 7 out of 10. This is a 7 out of 10, maybe pushing 7.5. Okay, run a lot of pick and rolls. Cuts to the basket. Also just started shooting with shot stick. Just started shooting with shot stick. You picked a bad time because they broke the shot stick. How do you recommend setting up this team? Okay, so I recommend, I get it, you have him locked in, but I recommend getting rid of Ben Wallace. I really do recommend getting rid of Ben Wallace. I don't see any purpose for that card. I think he's awful. Jerry West, really good. Gary Payton, get him off the 2. Swap Jerry West and Gary Payton. Because you don't, I would much rather have Jerry West, who's a sniper, at the 2, and Gary Payton at the 1, because Gary Payton's probably the better defender. Jerry West is by far the better shooter. Larry is one of the best guys in the game. Jordan Kobe combo, really good. Kareem, I know you have him locked in, so I'm not going to say to get rid of him. Richard Jefferson, fantastic. Lambeer, fantastic. Allen Houston coming off the bench is one of the last 3. Houston's better than Jordan. And Houston's way better than Jordan. So, if you are running Jordan and Kobe, run Houston and Kobe off the bench. To be honest, the way I would run that team is, I would run with, I'd get rid of Ben, and you know, you have Kukoc. Kukoc is way better than Ben. But what I would go with is, I would play Larry at the 4, Houston at the 3, West at 2, Peyton at the 1 as your starting lineup. Off the bench, I go Kidd, Doug Christie, or Kobe Bryant. One of those at 2, one of those at 3. Richard Jefferson and Lambeer. You have Doug Christie in there, and you're not using him. Doug Christie is the best wing, is the best 2 guard in the game. You also have Ben Walsh, who's awful in the squad, and you've got Kukoc as well at the end of your bench, and then move Houston into your lineup. That's what I would go with. But either way, this is like still an 8.5 to 10 team. I can't deny this team's fantastic. Okay. Second last team? Yeah. So, this guy right here. Usually run shoot a lot of 3s. What playbook do you think I should run? I mean, literally any play that says flare if you shoot a lot of 3s. There's so many plays in every playbook. Like, people keep talking about money plays, but basically any play that says flare, the CPU won't be able to guard it. Also have a Kareem on auction, so I have 50k-ish empty. I mean, I hate that Kareem so much. I mean, Kevin Durant's just not better than Tony Kukoc. You're going to make a hell of a lot of empty selling Kevin Durant. And I'm going to tell you this right now. I hate Steph Curry, but if you like Steph Curry, go ahead and use him. Because just because I don't like the card doesn't mean you shouldn't use him, but Steph Curry divides opinions. If at any stage you're thinking, you know what, Steph Curry's not spectacular, just sell him. It's not you, it might be the card because he's got cold zones everywhere. Kobe and Ray Allen together, not bad. Brian Winter's so nice. Derrick Rose is great. Richard Jefferson's great. I mean, like, you can't rim roll with both of these guys. I'm just saying that right now. Karl Malone, sell Karl Malone. If you sell Karl Malone and put in a Tony Kukoc, or even selling Karl Malone, buying Paul George Ruby, and moving Richard Jefferson to power forward, your team gets significantly better. Karl Malone, he may serve a purpose, but not paired with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Like, you cannot play 2 non-shooters. Like, if I came up against this team, I think auto-win. Auto-win. Just because of the fact you got 2 non-shooters in there. That is the biggest negative here. So, because it lacked the 2 non-shooters, I can't give this team more than a 7 out of 10. Even though you've got some of the best cards in the game, I cannot give this more than a 7 out of 10. Okay. Spent, or got lucky, just started 1 day ago. Wow. Going no money spent, got lucky and pulled diamond, or pulled pink diamond Manu with your VC. That's very lucky. Okay. I like your point guards. I like your 2 guards. Get rid of Melo. I actually really like this Zion. Bailey Hell's a god. Rick Smith and Myers Leonard are good centers. Just get rid of that Melo. You can get so much better. I can't even think off the top of my head who's better than that Melo. I'm for some reason, I don't know why, I always just kind of struggle to think of certain people off the top of my head, especially the wing positions, because there's not a lot of great ones, especially when you're not on a high token board. And like Klay Thompson guards center, so that's a bit of a problem. So I think, is there any like clamps wings that are moderately good shooters without you spending much money? At the like 5K, heck, Tatum, just get Sapphire Tatum, and he makes your team way better. But this is like a 7.8 out of 10, 7.8 to an 8 out of 10. Your team's fine. Your team is fine. The way I would run it though is I would probably run with, I don't know. Actually, yeah, just put Tatum in here and then start Tatum just for defensive reasons and move Kukoc onto the bench, and you'll be sorted. You'll be sorted. Or even bring Tatum off the bench. Actually, that doesn't make too much of a difference. Your bench needs a little bit of help on defense. So yeah, I do really like this team, and it's structured well. It is structured well. So anyway, that is the video. that is it. This is week 3 of the series where I rate your squads. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.